Good branding is arguably the most important thing when it comes to ensuring achievements in any career path. Welcome to another edition of the Women Series, the very first in the month of April. We're still doing the good work. We capture developments and stories that impact women. Now, for the month of April, we'll be talking about branding and exploring every aspect therein. Trust me, you don't want to miss any part of it. And if I were you, I'd get my pen and my notepad to jot things down. Now, for today, we will be talking about branding for career opportunities for women. And joining me to have this conversation is a development coach and a brand expert. I'm speaking with Omobabirin Adeola Osideko. Thank you for joining us on the program today. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, by the way, you look good.
Thank you.
And your name exudes so much. I don't know, Omobabirin. It says a lot about it says a lot about you, and it says you know your worth, and then you're being called in that name. I love the name, by the way, Omobabirin Adeola Osideko. You're welcome on the set once again. So we're talking about career branding for career opportunities for women, especially. I know that branding has quite a number of aspects. There are different aspects to branding, but for the focus of today, we want to talk about the career path for women, especially. Now, you'd agree with me that we're living in a golden age of branding, and branding has evolved from one thing to the other. Some say it is packaging, some call it transitioning, some call it different names and whatnot. But what would you say brand is, or branding is, for today's woman?
Okay, branding, just like it is a process. You know, it's a continuous process of packaging yourself, presenting yourself in a very acceptable way to the society. And when we are talking about professionals now, career professionals specifically, packaging yourself and presenting yourself in a unique way to your employers, or to your clients, or to your customers, or to people you meet within the workspace.
So that's exactly what branding means. But you would agree with me that, again, that there are way people take this branding thing in different form. Like I said earlier, it has evolved from one thing, what it used to be, to what it is now. But I'm sure that there has to be like certain things that would not you cannot keep doing in this present age. Could you share with us some of those things that obviously cannot apply in year 2021 when it comes to branding?
Okay, so let me just quickly talk about the types of branding that we have. Branding as it is divided into three. We have personal branding, business branding, and corporate branding. Today we are going to be focusing on personal branding. And the reasons why people personally brand themselves are just three. The first one is for influence, the second one is for business, and the third one is for career professional or career opportunities. Okay, so the meaning of branding yourself for career opportunity means that you're trying to prepare yourself, you're trying to stand out in the midst of crowd, because you're a graduate, you're a professional, you're an expert, but for goodness sake, you're not the only one that knows what you know. So we have so many other people that know that same thing you know, but what extra thing can you do to make you stand out, to make you unique? So just like a question, in this year 2021 or in this 21st century, there are things that are key. And one of the things that are key is social media presence. As a career professional, you must have a strong and reliable social media presence. You know that before now, when employers want to employ people, they don't really care about their social media life or what they do on social media. They just look at their skills, their expertise, their experience, and they just move on. But let me tell you, in this age and time, employers go as far as checking and digging out details of their prospective employee on social media. They just want to know them outside their professional life. They want to know their real self. Because when you're a professional, you kind of package yourself like, oh, I don't talk, I don't lie, I don't do this. But when they go to your social media handles, they know the real you. Maybe you're wearing a nude dress, or whether you are using foul language, or you are saying some things, your comments, you're rude, you're saucy, you get angry easily, you pass rude comment to people. So from that, they can gather who you are. They can try and pin it down to your personality and like, okay, can this person actually work for us? Is this person going to represent our business or corporate brand very well? So one of the things you don't want to joke with in this age is the social media presence as a young career professional. Another thing I would like to talk about is your elevator pitch. There's something we call elevator pitch.
Yeah,
Now that elevator pitch means that you have in 3 or 2 sentences, you have a summary of who you are.
right.
When you go out, when you meet people, because we're still going to be talking about relationship, networking, and all of that. When you meet people within 30 seconds, you can express who you are. Hi, hello, my name is Adeola. I am this, and this. I can help you do this, and this. So within few seconds, you are able to communicate your brand, your personal brand message to whoever you are meeting or to wherever you are. So those 2 things are, we have so many of them anyway, but those 2 things.
More, apart from social media and then
Okay, I mentioned social media, I mentioned elevator pitch,
yes.
Then the next one is relationship building, or we call it relationship management or networking. Networking skills and relationship building is also key. You as a professional, you don't limit yourself. You try and go for events, you online, offline. When you meet people, you greet. Hi, hello, my name is Adeola. I am this. I am a personal branding expert. I do this. You meet people intentionally. You don't just sit in your space and say, oh, I'm a big girl. Oh, I'm a big girl. I don't talk to people. True. You have to stand up. And that's why when you go for some conferences and seminars, they give you like 10, 15 minutes. For networking, they ask you stand up, greet the person. Because they know ordinarily some people will sit down and they will feel too big to say hi or hello to the next person. But so they intentionally wanted to meet people. So in this age and time as a career professional, you cannot afford not to network because you would need it, definitely.
That's very interesting. Your social media presence is very, very important. And you talked about your latest page, having to describe yourself in 30 seconds, as minimal as 30 seconds. And networking, I mean, this is not a period you want to joke with networking. You want to network all the time, try to meet people, talk to people, let them know what you're into. And
what you do.
Exactly. And all of these things will definitely land you your billion-dollar job. Yes, so let's talk about challenges women face while trying to express their brand and personalities.
Okay, I think the major problem we face as women is the culture of silence.
Why? What do you mean culture?
Culture of silence is normally women are not supposed to be heard. Right. You're supposed to keep quiet. You don't have anything to say, just keep short. Okay. And our religion is not also helping matters because, in our various religions, we have this culture of women should not talk. Women should keep quiet. Yeah. In fact, in my religion, I don't want to mention, in a particular place in my holy book, there's a place women are not allowed to talk. In the religious setting, you're supposed to keep short. So when you come online or you try to promote your personal brand as a career professional, you see this with a look from people like, who are you? Who are you? Where are you coming from? Just a mere woman. What do you have to offer? Just keep short. Men, I see it a lot because I run an academy, and most of the time when people approach me like, hi, good morning, sir, I say, I'm not sir, I'm ma. Because, people don't expect that women would do such.
Step up and challenge the game. That's true.
So when they look at it from afar, what you're doing from afar, your works, your academy, they believe in their mind that this is automatically a man. I was telling someone a few days ago, I said, I don't know how I feel. I feel somehow when people use sir for me instead of ma, when they are trying to approach me on a professional level, because I think in their mind, they feel this particular thing is not meant for a woman. Yes, and at times too, when I try to train people, because I'm also a coach, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm an international speaker, and I'm a trainer as well. When I train some young guys, some of them are actually rude, and most of the time I take it back to probably because I'm a woman. That's why they are rude like that. They don't really see you a woman, but you're going to be teaching me, you're going to be giving me instructions. So I think that's basically the one of the most serious challenge that we face in this branding industry on a career professional. This culture of silence. People are not, women are not to talk. They're just to keep quiet and just watch.
Just like the International Women's Day theme for the year says, we choose to challenge. So definitely we are still choosing to challenge the culture and the religious aspects of we trying to keep silence and keep quiet and laid back as women. We choose to challenge, and we're choosing to challenge all year round, all day round, every time, every day. So let's talk about the tips for effective branding. What are the tips for effective branding? Let's be practical as possible.
Okay, so I'll start from where I will mention where I started from to the social media presence. So that's one of the great tools for branding. You must keep your social media sane. When I mean sane, you must keep it as decent as possible. There are some things you don't put on social media. No, it's not like you cannot
You can't express yourself, but you can express yourself, but at least
you need to apply some
exactly,
caution,
yes.
because a lot of people are there looking at looking out for you or trying to check one or two things. So make sure your timeline, all of the social media, we have a lot of them: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the rest. So make sure you post valuable content. You don't pass derogatory comments on other people's posts. Some people can be very rude. You're not agreeing with my opinion. It's not bad, but try and communicate in a mature and in a civilized way, so that you will not be offended, I will not be offended. So we need to conduct ourselves on social media in an acceptable way. Get a good professional headshots. Don't just use any wishy-washy picture like, oh, who's looking at me? Oh, am I impressing? You need to be intentional about everything. You can post a picture where you are wearing bikini at the beach, exposing your body, and you're like, oh, I don't care. I don't care what people say about me. No, you need to care, because this is 21st century where every little thing matter. So from your headshots, from your professional picture, we call it display picture, right? From your display picture to your bio. Bio is just like an elevator pitch too. In few sentences, maybe 2 or 3, you just express who you are. So when I visit your social media and do, at a glance, I know who you are. I know what you represent. I know where you stand. I know what you stand for. So that is great. Then your cover photo, your content, basically, you make sure that you post valuable content. You can disagree, but make sure that you don't use vulgar language or foul language, or you just make sure you conduct yourself in a very acceptable manner. Okay, so that's it for social media. Then I also talked about networking. Make sure you network, get to know people, meet people, engage. And another thing I would like to talk about is you need to be intentional about your skills. This is 21st century. I keep saying it. This is 2021, and things are changing. Things are evolving, and you cannot just keep sitting where you are, like, oh, I know this. I know Microsoft. No, the world has moved past Microsoft. We are now in a digital age where people acquire soft skills that can help them. There are so many personal development skills that you can learn as a career professional that will boost your brand. You learn something like emotional intelligence, you learn about personality development, you learn about fashion. You need to be fashionable, you need to be presentable. You don't need to walk into a hall and people are like, who is this? Where are this one coming from? So these are basic skills. You need to learn about etiquette, dining etiquette, dressing etiquette, meeting etiquette, professional etiquette, general etiquette. There's so many things you need to learn. So you need to learn, I call it learn, relearn,
and unlearn.
and unlearn.
Yes, that's true.
You need to keep learning. You can't say because, oh, I have known this,
I'm done with it. I can't go back there. Yeah.
So unlearning is, there are some things that are no longer applicable in this world. Now, for the very good example is, for instance, you're a typist. I don't know when last anybody have used the typewriter.
Yeah. Right.
And you're like, I know how to use typewriter. I'm very good. And people are like, what are you saying? Right. This is a computer here. People are now using laptop, tablet and the rest. And you cannot use any of them. And you keep saying, oh, I know how to type. No. Yeah. So you need to unlearn those old things that you know that is no longer applicable in this generation. You need to drop them somewhere and relearn. That's true. And learning is not a one-off thing, it's a continuous process. As long as you're living, you keep learning. Till you die, you keep learning. So one of the things that will also, one of the tips for personal branding is learning, acquiring digital skills, web designing. You know how to do a lot of things. You know how to use a lot of application on social media. When Corona came and we had issue with this online, a lot of people don't know how to use Zoom and the rest.
Well, we had to adjust.
We had to adjust.
Yes.
So that is justice. So in this new generation, career professionals need to adjust to the new normal and to the new digital age.
Thank you very much. That was extensive and practical enough, as much as I wanted it to be. So I've attained some level of branding. I've been able to achieve all of these things. I've done this, I've done that. I've worked on my social media. I've worked on my elevator page. I've worked on myself. I've done all of those things. How then do I maintain my brand relevance? How do I keep being relevant in the industry?
Okay, so you don't fade off because like I said, things keeps evolving. Before you know it, something else is out, something else is out. So just as it is, the only solution is to be intentional about your growth. I'll still go back to the skills part. You need to be intentional about your growth. You need to keep growing. You need to tell yourself that occasionally I want to learn. Periodically, this is my target of learning.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, I am done. Just like, oh, I have a good social media and I have this. Just like a social media influencer, you come today and you're off in the next 6 months and you come back again and say, hey, I'm here. By the time you say I'm here, people would say, who is this one? Where are you coming from? We don't even know you. What's your name? Remind me of your name again. So you need to be consistent with your learning. Consistency, showing up. And one of the things I will also talk about is showing your skills. A lot of people call it show off. I personally don't call it show off. I call it showing up.
Okay.
If you don't tell me what you're capable of doing, I will not know. I am not a witch. And I know you are not too, right? Am I right? So I know that if you don't tell me that, oh, I am Hayamide, I can do this, I cannot know. So you need to keep proving to people that you can do this. This is who I am. I am a branding expert. This is what I stand for. I can do this. You need to keep showcasing your skills. I tell people, I teach public speaking too, and I tell people, every opportunity you have, make sure you speak. You are in a meeting, speak. Ask questions. In fact, as the meeting is going on, you're already calculating which question you are going to ask. Whether it is a reasonable question or not, you don't really care, but you want to speak. You want people to know you. You want to be recognized. Notice you. Yes, that's the word I'm trying to look for. Yes. But when you stand up, people are like, oh, what's doing this one that is just raising hand? No, it's not showing off. It's showing up. Because by the time you leave that meeting, even if you don't remember anything, you will remember that I show off. And my picture or my image will keep ringing in your head. I have registered.
Everybody's talking about me.
Yes, I've registered my brand in your heart.
That's true.
Negatively or positively, because we have it in negative or positive. Because if you're not well dressed and you're looking somehow, people will be like, that girl, that you are still noticed, Oh, that girl that I met that day at the meeting that was looking somehow, But you should be able to show your skill. Anywhere you are, let people know what you're capable of doing. Let them know your potentials. Let them know who you are. Don't keep quiet in a corner. I tell some of my students that the era of I am shy is past. The era of I am an introvert, I don't speak. We're not saying you should be lousy. We're not saying you should be everywhere, but speak up.
You have to do something to get what you want.
Yes, you need to get people's attention. Exactly. You need to make people to notice you. You can't be in an organization for 10, 15 years and you don't even know your director. And you're like, oh, I don't go to her office because I don't have any business with her. What about you walking to our office one day? Good afternoon, madam. I just said I should say hi to you. Hope you're having a nice day. Yes, you can. Nobody will say yes. Nobody will say, oh, you can even, I want the secretary, I want to see the director. Just want to say hi. If you're allowed, say hi. The worst she will say is that all you came here to do? But by the time, before you even do that, you would have known who the person is.
Yes.
You would know their personality.
Yes.
If they can do that kind of thing, or maybe if the person is just walking around the corridor, you can say, good morning, madam. Hope you're good today. I love your dress. You're looking good. Pass compliment. Let people know you are existing. And you're not just hiding one corner. I don't want anybody to see me. Oh, I don't want them to talk about me. No, it doesn't work like that in this age. So these are some of the things you need to do as a career professional to remain relevant in the professional world.
Thank you very, very much. I mean, you are a practical example of all you just said now, because trying to reach out to you, I found you somewhere, and it was because you were doing something and you definitely are relevant in this part. That's why we were able to reach out to you, and you just describe yourself, all of it. I mean, that's just it. You just describe yourself, and you fit into all of these things you just spoke about. Thank you for coming on the show. It was great having you, and I enjoyed every bit of the conversation. I, for one, have learned I should stop hiding myself, and I should learn to speak up. I hope you learn to do the same as well. Thank you very, very much. And that will be all on today's episode of Women's Series. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next time on another episode of Branding. If you've got questions or comments, kindly send them to ayomide.oguntoye@proshareng.com, and then kindly follow us on all our social media platforms showing in your screen. And you can also check our website on www.proshareng.com to get more information on your personal finance and news story. And until next time, thank you for watching.